So I see you guys y'all still crushing it with lead mining pros, huh?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean I was kind of got off for a minute of the cold calling and kind of started trying to go my own route with still doing cold calling, but like trying to manage my own people and kind of building out my own little, team, I guess, of cold callers.
Right,
And I've
right.
been going through a ton of them.
Yeah, it's not easy, dude.
I am back on lead mining now, so
Oh, you are?
uh,
Okay, great.
yeah, I'm using it now. So I've been liking it. You guys are, I think y'all sent me a couple leads today actually, and everything's been going good.
Yeah. Do you have the Americans or the foreign callers?
I've
Looks
been
like
doing I've been doing foreign.
good, good. And, I try to remind people too, like when they call me, they're like, well, don't foreign cold callers suck. Our callers are different. They've been with us for almost 3 years,
Right.
so they're not really like the average foreign person, you
Right.
know.
For sure. Yeah. And I mean, I find that, I mean, if they can get through the whole script and like fully pre-qualify a lead foreign, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Americans can kind of dig up any leads, right? Because they can have a nice, comfortable conversation, even if they're
Yeah,
really not motivated. But it's like
yeah.
if somebody's going to spend the time to talk to a foreigner, and
Talking
then,
to That's a very good point. It's another level of qualification.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
that's kind of how I look at it, the foreigners, So
yeah, that's a good point.
we've been using Jamaicans too recently from Fiverr.
How much do you pay them per hour?
I don't, so I've been paying them like per dial actually, and I mean, I actually found that it was a little more than than you guys,
Oh, wow.
using them because they do per dial on Fiverr. Fiverr you can literally do everything on, I
Yeah,
just there's so many like freelance cold callers on there.
yeah.
And I mean, I just kind of put like a little one page step-by-step document like on how they can work with us. And then, after they call, after I give them I can kind of see like their cost per lead, their conversion rate,
Yeah.
and all that good stuff. And after going through like 20 callers, I kind of nailed it down to like three that I
Wow.
actually like enjoy working with. And like they actually have like a good cost per lead, a good conversion rate, and they stay consistent.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, you're like the perfect person for me to be talking to because it's like I think that is that's so much work, right? And I think you did the work, so you actually understand how much work that was.
yeah.
And, and I think it really shows to like what some of the luxuries, that we can provide.
Hmm.
Where it's like, and I think a common mistake people make is they close a deal with our service and they go, I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna start my own team. This is gonna be so if Nick can do it, I can do it.
Right.
And what we do is easy. I'm not gonna lie. It's easy now, but I ran
Mhm.
restaurants for 13 years. I've been keeping teams of 20 people busy all the time. It's kind of what I do.
Right.
You know? And that's what they do. They call me up 6 months later. Well, Nick, we made $40,000 when we used your service, and then we just hired our own team. And dude, it's been painful. And
Yeah.
it's like, and it's such a bummer because I'd almost just wish, that they'd ask, right?
Hmm.
Like, hey, like just, because what they accidentally do is they snare their momentum into like 6 months of a whole new system.
Exactly.
And now they're like, and then if they call me up, Nick, a lot of them say I got nothing. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
it's interesting that you went that path. So you still have those two?
I still have still have two that I use, and but I'm finding that it's cheaper to kind of use you guys.
Oh wow, okay,
and,
yeah.
and I'm getting like the same,
Result.
result as far as like leads and everything. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to using like working with you guys more and trying to stay a little more consistent as far and I'm going to be using the Filipinos for now
Do you do texting at all?
here and there. Like I'm not doing it super consistent. I'll
Yeah.
just do it to get like an influx of leads from my lead manager. But um I find that those just it just takes it's more leads but less quality, I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes.
I always
With the
say a texting lead is the ugliest lead you
Yeah.
you can get. Yeah, no,
Yeah. Give me an
100%.
offer. I'm not selling, but give me an offer.
All right. Yeah, they're like watching TV. You didn't even make them pause the television.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
How
6 million.
much?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, how much? $1 million? All right.
And that's a good point. Like when you got someone you want to keep busy, like, look, if you got bandwidth,
Hmm.
We're clocking out at 20 hours, text blast.
Right.
You know, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I recently had I've been doing land too, like flipping, wholesaling land, and I go with my text person. They like pull the list and skip trace it, text, and they respond and all that good stuff, and just send you leads for like a certain price per text or whatever. And which I forget exactly what that number was, but I just kind of did it as a test, a few times. And I mean, we do get an influx of leads, but we just been kind of using that for like land leads
Yeah.
for some reason. I don't know. I feel
Texting
like
is
those,
awesome for land. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
honestly, we've seen texting perform pretty well no matter what. I
Mhm.
think what might matter would be the quality. Like
Yeah.
we did 3,000 dials in Dallas
Right.
and we only got one lead. And
Wow.
then we did 2,500 texts and we
Mhm.
got 9 leads.
I'm
Right.
finding 1 out of 3 leads that I get sent in from from you guys or from other callers. I'm finding only 1 out of 3 are like actually ready for like an offer right now. Because the other two are kind of like, once our lead manager our acquisition manager gets on the phone with them, they're like, well, I'm not really selling. I just, you guys called me and, what's your
Right.
off, it's just kind of like, they're kind of like a dead lead, or they're like way far out as far as like a sale date, which is good because I'm still building up data in the pipeline of like future follow-ups and future people that we're going to keep
Right.
calling, but like they just weren't ready now to like for that offer for that appointment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. For
Hmm.
the foreseeable future, you could say.
But I'm kind of looking at it. We have all these leads come in, and then out of those, how many did we send in for like a comp research and an offer? And I'm finding that it's about 30%.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, which that's actually pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest with you, if about a 1 in 3, maybe a little
Mm.
less.
Yeah, but well, yeah, it's right about 1 in 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my cost per lead right now with cold calling is probably about $30 a lead. thirty
Wow.
dollars. Yeah, $30 a lead.
Wow.
But like I said, it's taking about 3 of those. Do you kind of know like average cost per lead for other investors, like as far as the cold calling goes?
Now, what I advertise is 1 to 4 leads per 500 dials on the foreign side.
Hmm.
500 dials is $100. So if you get one lead,
Yeah.
that's $100 per lead. And if you get two, that's $50 per lead. So I would feel like a decent to poor campaign would be roughly $100, maybe 80 to 100.
Yeah.
And then a good would probably be 60 to 80.
Right.
And
Well,
then a great would be like sub 60.
yeah. Yeah, I haven't pulled my report yet for you guys because since my last order, but shoot, last time y'all called, y'all did $1,000. I got 9 leads. It's foreign.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm definitely enjoying working with you guys again. And yeah, because like I have like a new web form now that you guys are using, and it kind of it's helping me track everything. Because
Oh,
before,
good.
like I think the leads was coming through email, and like I'm just so system based that like just an email coming in, like, and then I have to forward it. It's just like stuff
Yeah.
was getting lost, and I was just like, man, I need to like try to build something on my end to make this
Yeah. Well,
a
dude,
little more
I'm
seamless.
glad you did that. And I'm glad to hear that we're cheaper too. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm definitely one of those people that I started off, everything, and it was going good with you. It's just that like the way that it was like the way the leads were coming in for me personally, I'm just so system based, and like I was
I
like, I need like a Podio system to track everything. I want to track all the numbers. I want to track everything, and then I just started hiring my own callers. Like I just started getting too deep in the rabbit hole
right.
to where now I'm like, let me just revert,
Wow.
come back a little bit.
Yeah. Right. No, I think that's powerful. Do you guys actually send the RVMs too, or do you get?
No, no, we were, but we don't right now. I just you get so many calls, and I
Yeah. No,
mean,
I agree with you. I was even thinking about. I got one client who wants to do everything, and I'm trying to like some people. They just like I want to mail and text and call,
oh
and
yeah,
I'm like, do you really want to do that much? Like, I mean, like, I'm kind of with you, dude. I'm like a call and a text. I think is like, it really goes a long way. The other stuff, and if anything, I think you mentioned it earlier, I would direct mail last.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the most expensive form of
Oh
lead
yeah.
gen you're gonna have,
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, direct mail. I stopped direct mail because it was just, I mean, it was over $100 a lead, and only about half of them actually interested. It was like $100 per phone call coming in, or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
only
it's like,
half of those phone calls were leads. Like, so it was just crazy.
yeah.
As far as, and I mean, direct mail is good if you do super targeted, stacked lists that are like,
Yeah. That's
but
that's exactly what I tell people. Like when they call me for cold calling, like I got a stack list. I'm like, don't use a stack list on fucking cold calling, bro. Like
yeah,
it's all cold calling.
yeah,
And it's like I feel like you almost need the averages
hmm,
to kind of help. I had a girl call me once and she goes, I only got 800 phone numbers back. I sent you 1,100 records. And I was like, yeah, we only got back like 75%. Well, what
hmm,
about these other 300? And I said, what about the 800 you did get? Like, what the
yeah,
hell are you talking about? Like, hang up, stop yelling at me,
right,
and call the people that you did.
yeah. Just call them, start
It's like,
calling.
I know it's easier to chew my ass than to call a
Hmm,
lead, but people are so funny.
yeah.
I offer weekly one-on-ones at the end of each person's campaign, you
Okay.
know, and it's not at the end of the campaign. It could be in, let's say your campaign's 4 weeks. We could meet every week. It comes in the weekly stats email that I send out, that
Yeah,
calendar link.
I like that.
Yeah, dude, it's been great. These customers, and no one's ever upset, bro. My first 50 meetings, I was like, oh fuck, they're gonna chew my ass. Here we go. To this day, not one person has been upset.
No,
And
yeah, I think what you're doing is great. And I mean, coming from me, like somebody that has kind of taken my own path and trying to build my own personal
team,
in-house team, like it's like, man, it's just tough, and you got to spend a lot of money to kind of go through who's good, who's not. So it took me a lot of money, a lot of, you know,
research.
time to just kind of come all the way back to like, man.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that funny how that works out, and I'm glad you did, dude. It's a hell of a testimony, so thank you so much, man,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For
for
sure.
bringing it back, and also, really, appreciating it, right? I mean, that's kind of, I hate for customers to have to go around that loop, and I'll probably use this video in the future to stop people from going around that loop.
Yeah.
But like, I'm glad you did. And it's like, and if you need something custom in the future, reach out, bro. If
Yeah.
you think, I mean, if you're like a lifelong, if you're a life longer, let's get more custom.
Yeah.
Let's, let me know how we can help. It doesn't just stop necessarily at the service. Things might be easier to implement than you might know. So, if you ever need something or you want to evolve in a direction, feel free to let me know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We'll do, man. Yeah, I'm gonna continue working with you guys and seeing where this goes.